beautiful
patriotic set that comes with your patriotic cake. We are talking New England blueberries, Cape Cod cranberries, so you have the red, white, and blue colors already. That comes no matter what, but then you get a choice. Do you want their original and most popular flavor, the cinnamon walnut, or do you want to go completely nut-free and get just cinnamon to go along with your patriotic cake? And 59071 is your item number. It is brand new, and the value will not be lower for at least 6 months because this is a one-day only value. So the price is going up at the end of the day, but right now you can grab it for $35.90. Bob Cates is here. He's the president of My Grandma's. Hello.
Sharon.
Hi.
Happy pre-Memorial Day, Sharon. I've never done this before, but this is such a thing of beauty. This is our full cake. It's not just a cake, it's rounded, and if you could see that, it's rounded because they take it out of the pan round, and then they put it in we'll show you how they make it later, as a matter of fact.
And you know what? While we are coming back to America for the patriotic cake, what I love about this recipe is it does actually have a heritage in an old world European recipe, but you have accessed the world's finest ingredients with that heritage recipe.
Sharon, we're so proud. We use our pure bourbon vanilla from Madagascar, which is up to over $300 a gallon, but we have never cut back on any quality. In 27 years, we're never going to. When it used to be $15 a gallon, they thought we were crazy. Could you get an imitation vanilla for $3 a gallon? We don't use imitation. There's no water, no butter, and no trans fats in this cake. It's the real deal.
And already 100 are gone.
Oh my
we just started talking about 1 minute ago.
Can I tell you that these cakes will be on time for Memorial Day and are being baked on Monday morning?
That is actually very, very important. We're going to talk about how they're baked right here because they arrive fresh.
Wow, the magic deal. That's our eggs, cultured sour cream, naturally cultured, eggs farm fresh, and of course our special bourbon vanilla in our batter, layered one layer at a time. And by the way, today you have a choice of the red, white, and blueberry with cinnamon walnut or with cinnamon without walnut. And if you get that cinnamon, as we're going to show you how we pour the second layer, we put the cinnamon and the sugar in the middle, and then another batter on top, and then the cinnamon on top you can see. But if you get a cinnamon cake and you don't notice a ribbon in the middle of the cake, that means your cake was made amongst the last ones to go in the oven, the most fresh, and what happens is they're warmer. So the cinnamon melds into the batter.
So even if you don't see the ribbon, it was there and may have just melted.
I'm just going to cut one cold. I don't know what I'm going to get here. Am I going to see a little cinnamon?
You got a ribbon.
I'm going to see a lot of cinnamon. But this case, you see the ribbon. So this is a cake that was one of the first 20 or 30 to go into the oven. Okay. And then the last 20 or 30, you'll see the cinnamon. But if you eat the middle of that cake, or if you cut into the middle, you'll notice it's so cinnamony, if that's a word. It is now.
We just made it up. I think I said cinnamon before. But you know what? This is my favorite part, is that you get the red, white, and blueberry.
You do.
So again, that patriotic is just on time.
With no nuts.
For Memorial Day. So even though they're not baked yet, and that is my favorite part about this brand, based on your orders, nothing is sitting on a warehouse shelf. Nothing is sitting in the freezer. They bake this fresh for you on Monday, and it will be shipped out on Monday, and will get to you before the weekend. And so we're going to talk about what to do when the cake comes to your house, but I want to go in for a bite.
It's falling apart in my hands. It's so moist. And you know when you have a good cake, it feels like you're holding a pie in your hand.
Yes.
But if you could see this at home, and you could even try to zoom in to try to taste that at home, you'll taste the berries in there. Those are New England blueberries, just like they were originally in New England hundreds of years ago, and Cape Cod cranberries. And we take the cranberries because they're a little bit bitter, and we marinate them in pure Vermont maple syrup for over a day. And then we take the cranberries out, no sugar, no cane sugar, nothing else, and we put them right into the cake, marinated from the batter and from the marinated maple syrup, and this is what you get. And it's just great. It's falling apart in my hands. This is what you should be getting.
That have been marinated in maple syrup to ensure their sweetness. 500 of these.
Oh boy. Okay.
Have now just gone out the door, and I need to remind you of something. This is not on auto delivery.
No.
The price is, it is? How is this on auto delivery? Hold on a second.
No, it's an OTO.
Oh my goodness, it is. Okay, well, you know what? This is terrific.
You shocked me.
It is on auto delivery. Every 90 days for 1 year, you can continue the same flavors coming to your house while this is on auto delivery, which means you can keep enjoying all of these delicious flavors throughout the year. You can freeze them if you would like to, but here's something else I want to mention. The price of $35.90 is good only until the end of the day.
Oh, yeah.
The price will go up, but if you have already locked into auto delivery, then you can lock that price in for every single one of your shipments that's happening every 90 days.
And Sharon, with an OTO like that, can I tell you that I almost fell out of my chair when the Today Show on NBC said, you can get them from Grandma's, but get them from QVC because you get a better deal, and it's much, much better. And
I actually challenge you to go to their website
right
unbelievable.
Now and
look at the price, and I know you're going to be coming back for these
Now
cakes.
look what we did. We had some folks here who are geniuses, but we've also had our customers and our friends recommend it. You dip either the red, white, and blueberry or any of our cake in batter in an egg for about 5 seconds. Beat the egg, put it in a frying pan, and then you put it 10 seconds in the frying pan. It crisps on the outside, and you get that French toast on each side.
And I love that specifically with the fruit.
Oh my
the
goodness!
Fruit almost starts to caramelize a little bit when you do it as part of the French toast, which I have done in many of their flavors for members of my own family. It is the most delicious French toast because the inside of the cake starts to get almost a little melty because it's already so moist. It almost becomes kind of pudding-like on the inside.
It is.
Look at that.
The moistness inside. I can't. It's so hard for me to pour this maple syrup without tasting this cake because the first time it was served to me, I couldn't believe it. And it was done by a restaurant that said, we're using your cake to make our French toast. And I was so proud. And we've done, ever since we've mentioned it on QVC, we have customers sending in recipe suggestions and telling us about how they experienced their first cookout with their family or any holiday. By the way, Sharon?
Yes.
You were terrific when you mentioned that this cake has no butter, no water, and no trans fats. So when they come and the two cakes come, whether it's the cinnamon with no nut and the blueberry, or red, white, blueberry, or the cinnamon with nut, and they come in a freezer bag.
That's right. And so when they come fresh, how do we keep them fresh for longer?
It says right here, using a refusable bag. Please save the bag, use it, reuse it, recycle it. It's a very expensive commercial freezer bag, but it prevents freezer burn. And because there's no water or no butter, these cakes freeze beautifully. If you get this cake Tuesday or Wednesday, keep it in the freezer until Sunday to cook out. Take it out, serve it cold, serve it at room temperature. But when you're done, put it back. You could take out half of the cake in 4th of July, serve it, put it back, and we guarantee you that over a year, you can still keep it in the freezer, and you take out a slice this size, will be just as moist and just as tasty as it was the day we originally baked it because we're using those original ingredients.
That's right, and there's no water in this recipe, and that's what turns into ice crystals and starts to spoil and get that strange taste in some of the foods that you have in your freezer. So have it warmed either from the grill on Memorial Day or do it on a griddle perhaps is more of that French toast idea. Microwave, toaster, but have it at room temperature, have it chilled in the fridge, have it with ice cream, have it from the freezer. Any way you do it, it is delicious. And we are going to say hello to Carolyn from Virginia. Carolyn, welcome into QVC.
How are you?
You are live with Bob, and my name is Sharon. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. It's so nice to talk with you, especially about this product.
Oh, have you tried it before?
Oh, many times. It's the one thing I always come back for.
Oh, thank you.
It's just like you said. You can put it in the freezer, take out part of it, cut half of it, whatever you want, put it back in, and a year later, it's great.
Right.
It's moist. It's always moist.
Oh, yeah.
And it does have a wonderful vanilla taste.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, I know the flavor and the texture. Sometimes coffee cakes, I find, Carolyn, can be very dry. I lost my mind when I discovered how moist this cake was.
This is the cake we say that's compared, all others are compared to. You're right, Carolyn. You let folks know about it. You're our lady in Virginia letting folks know about this cake.
Oh, yes. I tell them all the time. They don't believe it isn't homemade, and I do make it. I do bake, but I tell them that this is I didn't do this. But it's such a good value. Two coffee cakes for this price.
That's right, and our shipping is free, so you can see that the price of $35.90 is for the 2 cakes, and what you see is what you get. So my question is, did you pick up the cinnamon cake or the cinnamon walnut cake to go along with the patriotic one?
They told me I could only have one. You know, they'd come packaged together.
Right, but there's a choice. You get the patriotic, the red, white, and blueberry, no matter what. But then you get a choice. Do you want the cinnamon walnut coming with the red, white, and blueberry, or just the cinnamon without the walnuts?
The cinnamon walnut.
Yeah, that's our #1 most popular cake ever. It's the cake that they say started an industry. And by the way, Carolyn, let me tell you something. When you serve that cake with the walnuts, you let folks know that those walnuts are from the Mariani orchards in California. They're the highest altitude orchard in America and have the most moisture. So because of that, the earth is so rich. Those walnuts, when you're tasting them, are less than a month old. Most cakes that are store-bought, over 6, 8 months old. Those walnuts still have their natural walnut oil in them. And that's why we don't need to use butter or grease this up or anything else.
Right.
And that natural walnut oil is what that emanates throughout the cake. So those walnuts are very special. Let folks know about that.
Oh, yeah, I can't buy walnuts that fresh.
Yeah, I know.
To
It's so
put in a
true.
cake.
No, we buy them by the pallet. We have to buy 12,000 pounds at a time.
Oh, my goodness.
And I'll tell you, Carolyn, we're never going to change, I promise. We're never going to change this quality because this is something that, well, we're closing a show tonight because we have always done this and we're always going to.
Well, Carolyn.
It's such a good value, and the taste is
Thank you.
unbeatable. And it just lasts forever.
Oh,
I've
Carolyn.
just had it. I've even forgotten
blushing.
about it. I buy two, the two at a time, and
Right.
I forget about one or half that's in there, and I think, and I bring
that's
it out,
terrific.
and
It's still
at
good.
room temperature, it's perfect.
Well, Carolyn, we
Thank
hope
you
you
so
enjoy your
much.
next order that's coming to you, and I hope you have a wonderful Memorial
Yes.
Day.
And
Thank you
please
so
talk
much.
to us
The
and let
same
us know
to
how your
both of
Memorial
you.
Day went. Thank you, Carolyn.
Thank you, Carolyn.
Thank you
Take
for
care.
talking with me.
Do you know
Our
how good that
pleasure.
feels, Sharon, to hear
Bye-bye.
people around the country experiencing this? This is made in New England. This is a cake that was made in Europe over 200 years ago, and they couldn't get Madagascar vanilla, and they couldn't get Mariani or California walnuts. They never heard of cranberries because those are from New England. So when the recipe came over here from Eastern Europe, and we've enhanced it through family and enhanced the different flavors and different varieties that we're allowing, there was no such thing as a red, white, and blueberry Patriot cake in England or over in Europe. They never had cranberries. So we are so proud of these flavors and so proud to offer them. I don't know what else to say.
Well, it's amazing, and I do want to let you know that the choice that comes with the cinnamon and walnuts is very popular because that's the
Okay,
original
of course.
cake. It's their #1 most
Yeah.
popular cake. But the cinnamon, if you want to go for a completely nut-free assortment, go for the red, white, and blueberry
Oh, yeah.
with the cinnamon, and it just has that ribbon of cinnamon laced through. But if you cut into it and don't see the ribbon, it's because some of that absorbed into the cake.
Right. Whoops.
You know what I love? I love how moist it is, but I love on the top of your cakes how there almost ends up being like the sugar crust that's on top of it.
There's
So
nothing
good.
like it. As we say, and I've said it many times, but I will be proud to say it again. I think I even say it in my sleep. Once you've tasted my grandma's, no matter who you are tasting it with or where, you will always remember where you were and when you had your first my grandma's coffee
'Cause
cake.
it's that good.
So, folks, when you do serve this, even if you're going to a cookout and you're not having a cookout, bring it and look at the expressions of the people. First of all, after 2 slices, there won't be any left on the table. No matter how many hot dogs or chicken or steak or hamburgers you have, crab cakes, this cake flies everywhere I go. I can never bring enough. And that's what you're going to experience, and there's nothing like it. Having a wonderful holiday season and sharing something that nobody else knows about. Oh, we're so proud of it.
And you know, you should be, because the recipe is spectacular. But
Thank
here's
you.
what you need to know about the price.
Oh, boy.
The recipe may be forever. They will not change it.
No.
However, the price is going to change. At the end of the day, your price will go up. Currently, you can get 2 full cakes, both individually boxed for less than $36, and your shipping is already free. But that is only until the end of the day. At midnight, the price is going to go up and will not be any lower for at least 6 months. And frankly, in 6 months, we will be talking about Thanksgiving and Christmas holiday, not red, white, and blueberry cakes. So please keep that in mind.
Yeah.
If you want the cinnamon walnuts,
Oh, boy.
we brought in about 2,100. Oh, we have fewer than 400?
There's only so many we can
500
make
remaining.
in one morning. There's only so many we can make.
Because it ships fresh.
But they're going to
you
go
don't do
out,
this in advance.
guaranteed.
They're not even made yet.
No, these walnuts are just coming in today. They're going to be used on Monday.
Right.
Yep. And I'm going to tell you, I've got an extra time. We've never used whipped cream on our show before.
Oh, well,
right?
that's some of the white for the red, white,
There
and
you
blueberry.
go. Absolutely. Have fun with it and let us know. Tell us, because we love to hear it. Suggestions and comments. We love them.
Yeah, so think about the different ways that you can do it. I eat occasionally a slice right out of the freezer. I pre-slice it, then I stick all of them in the freezer and take out what I need when I want to. But you are getting 2 full cakes, both
Yes.
individually boxed for this price.
Please let folks know they're kosher, which means we use the highest of quality standards, and we're always going to give you the best. Thank you,
Thank you
Sharon.
so much, Bob. This is M59071. And lock that into auto delivery at that price every 90 days for 1 year. No matter what happens in the coffee cake business, your price is good for a year. Nice, right?